Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a very interesting matchup for you. Today we have George on the left piloting Stormhaven, me on the right piloting Aegis. Not one of my favorite decks, but we were just kind of testing some things, and I mean, we just play a lot of different crafts all the time. George, you can see, started off with a Bell Ringer and played Bejeweled Shrine, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it's a 1-cost amulet that allows you to engage it to select a follower Storm or Ward and buff it by 1/1 for the cost of 1 extra play point. So it makes the Bell Ringer 1/3. So he hits me down to 19. And yeah, it's kind of weird to see Bell Ringer actually doing damage, isn't it? But very cute play. It makes Bell Ringer even better in this deck whenever you start off with it. So, you know, I'm sure it's you know, exactly what he wants to see. If not that, then there's like I think it's called Snake Priestess or something like that. That card is also a really great card to play on turn 1. So looks like we play Prism Priestess. We use an Evo point to evolve it. That's not even strong enough to out the Bell Ringer. But we are going to swing into it to bring it down to a 1/1 because, you know, I mean, if he evolves it, that's not that bad for us. And we kind of want that thing to get a little bit weaker. So he's going to go to 3 play points, and it looks like he plays another Bejeweled Shrine, taps them both, bringing Bell Ringer to being a 3/3, hits us for 3. It's a really aggressive Bell Ringer. You know, the most aggressive I've ever seen a single Bell Ringer be before. So very interesting. We play our own Bell Ringer, sorry. Use our last 2 play points, evolve it, and wipe out his Bell Ringer, because at this point it's just doing too much. That Bell Ringer did 4, so you know, had to kind of out it. And plus, Bell Ringer in general is great against Stormhaven. So yeah, I mean, this is just a really safe play. You know, with 3 play points, there's not a whole lot you can do. George plays Megiro McQueen, sends one of the Bejeweled Shrines, and deals 3 damage to us directly. Yeah, Megiro is actually pretty decent in this deck, especially whenever you are, I mean, because when you evolve it, it does add an amulet back, which sounds like kind of mid, but when you're adding back mostly just 1 play point amulet, it's not that bad. So we Acolyte the Megiro McQueen, and then we heal 2, putting us at 15, ward our Bell Ringer, and pass. George plays Megiro Ryan and a Pinion Prayer. He's going to sack the Pinion Prayer off, get a Holy Falcon. He's going to buff the Ryan to being a 4/3. Attack over the Bell Ringer, let us draw a card, hit us for 4. So he, yeah, I mean, this deck kind of just wants to go as face as possible, really. You know, it doesn't have a lot of card advantage, but it does a lot of burst damage very well. So we'll follow up his play with a Themis, wipe the board. Doesn't feel that great to just hit a 2-drop and a Holy Falcon, but I mean, had to out him somehow. I don't think we had a Jean. Jean wouldn't have even outed the Ryan, actually. He plays Bird Keeping Disciple. For those of you who don't know, whenever you play that card, you can tap an amulet and summon a Holy Falcon, so he hits us again for 2. And Bird Keeping Disciple is a 5/4 ward, but he's keeping it up because he was hoping that it lives to deal some damage, but unfortunately we have a Rico. It's actually George's Aegis deck. I don't play Rico in Aegis, but I mean, it worked out in this situation. Kept me alive. So drop stores down to 17. Rico is at 4 health. Unfortunately, he follows up with a Kaguya. Yeah, this is, I don't know, this Stormhaven deck is really interesting because, you know, Kaguya, I mean, I guess the thing is Kaguya, if Kaguya lives, I mean, that's a lot of damage, and it has a pretty decent chance of living, but he plays a Guardian Sun, gives Kaguya Ward, which dealt 1 damage to the Rico, and then he evolved the Kaguya, brought out the token, which is the face down card there, the token that says Kaguya can't take damage that turn, dealt the last 3 to Rico, and he's able to leave Kaguya standing, so puts us in an awkward spot and forces us to Themis the Kaguya with 2 play points left. We just pass. George goes up to 8 play points here. We're at 9 health, so we're not feeling that great. We're not too worried that we haven't done damage to George here because, you know, Aegis is our win con, so we just hope that we're able to put ourselves in a position to swing with it twice. But it looks like he's considering playing the Ruby Falcon, one of my favorite cards from Flame of Leviathan. Yeah, so he does play the Ruby Falcon. He does evolve it. There's nothing on my board for him to do 2 damage to, but he's mostly just kind of just trying to build a board. Oh, and he also plays the 2 extra play points to give the Ruby Falcon Storm. So then he follows that up with an Amethyst Lion, buffing Ruby Falcon to 5. Swing us for 2, but +1 because Ruby Falcon's continuous effect when a Storm or Ward follower other than itself swings, it does 1 extra damage. And then he hits us again for 5 attack with the Ruby Falcon. So that was 8 damage total, putting us down to 1. Yeah, really rough spot. So we're kind of in a bad position because that Ruby Falcon can't stay, because then anything that has Rush or Ward, or sorry, Storm or Ward, can deal 1 damage to us just through its effect. So we use Cudgel to clear the board, and then follow up with an Radiance Angel, ward it up, and pass. We're at 1 play point left, and so you can see we have a Dark Offering in hand. Can't really afford to prematurely Dark Offering because, I mean, the Ruby Falcon's cleared, so we feel somewhat safe, but we can't afford to prematurely Dark Offering to 4 health because we kind of need this ward to happen. So I think what I was hoping for is it eats 1 attack, and then on the 2nd attack I can Dark Offering. But seeing another Ruby Falcon is pretty scary. So he deals 2 damage to the Radiance Angel, taps the Bejeweled Shrine, make Ruby Falcon a 5/5. And it looks like he did not give it Ward because I guess he didn't have another, or sorry, Storm, because he didn't have another way of getting rid of the Radiance Angel in the first place. So he used the last bit of his play points to summon a Snow White. And after I see that I'm not dying, I pop the Radiance Angel with Dark Offering, heal 3, and draw a card. Then we go to 9 play points, which means now we can summon Aegis. We can pitch 3 cards here. That's our only way we're going to evolve it right now. We did pitch the Seraph that we added with our Prison Priestess on turn 2. And then we're going to play the Guardian Sun to give Aegis Ward, and now we pass. So we're still not feeling very good because the Ruby Falcon is still on the board, which means any follower besides itself that has Storm or Ward that attacks, I take 1 damage. So, but unfortunately, George is actually in a top decking position, but he does have Maisho Dodo. This card is very good in this deck. So when you feed it a carrot, it becomes 4/4, and you play an amulet that costs 1 from the deck. I think it's just 1. I'm pretty sure it's just 1. Because I don't think it's just an amulet. No way. I'm pretty sure it's just a 1-cost amulet. But he grabs the Pinion Prayer from his deck. So off of 1 card, he has 2 right there. I mean, he's got some pretty nice board presence. Gets a Holy Falcon. He rams it into the Aegis along with the Snow White, knowing it's doing no damage, but it did 2 damage to me, bringing us down to 2. And now he knows he's going to take a hit, but he used the last 2 play points to bring up the Snow White because it moved to the EX since it had a Fable counter. And he's leaving all of them up because every single one of them is lethal, hoping that I don't have an out like a Themis or a Jean. I do see a Jean. I'm nice. So first we're going to start off with the Sacred Plea. Drawing 2 cards. I see a Bell Ringer too. Yeah, so at this point, we have to Jean. We have to wipe the board. And it looks like we have a Dark Offering too. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to play the Jean. Play 1 extra play point, use an Evo point, I think. George already just preparing for disaster here, clearing his board up. Yeah, so we are going to evolve it fully using the last Evo point. This is going to make Aegis be a 12. Or sorry, 12 defense. Still 10 attack. Swing for 10. So half of the life is there. And now we're going to heal 3 with Dark Offering, targeting Aegis, which means we lose nothing. And it looks like we end up passing We keep the Bellringer in hand. I guess we were just trying to keep Angelic Snipe open instead of Bellringer, which kind of makes sense because I don't think the Bellringer, since Aegis is 12, like, it's probably not going to end up doing anything. We did heal by 3, like I said, so it puts us up to 5, so we're not as afraid of the Ruby Falcon, especially because you got to remember that George is on 1 card, and it doesn't end up being anything, I think, actually, so I think this ends up being the game. Yeah, so we're move on to game 2. Only 2 games in this video, by the way, so this will be the last one. I lost the footage again, or the very end of the footage for game 3, but, it is what it is. I don't want to make too long of videos that you guys lose interest anyway, so I think this is going to be a good size of video. So we pass on 1. George tries to pinion us or Holy Falcon, but we Angelic Snipe it. We pass on turn 3 as well. He is going to crack his Pinion Prayer with 1 play point. Try to attack with the Falcon. Oh, not yet, actually. He plays Amethyst Lion first, making it a 3. So we banish that, and then he swings with the Amethyst Lion. So we still end up taking something even though we don't want to, or we thought we weren't going to. So we end up passing on 4 because it's just Aegis. We've passed on 1, 2, 3, and now 4. So, yeah, I don't want to say it's definitely not a bad spot. It's just Aegis, Okay, so he evolves Ruby Falcon, swings with the Amethyst Lion, so now it does 3 instead of just 2. And we end up passing or not doing anything on 4 because we have a Themis, so there's no point in getting rid of one of the followers. We just keep a card in hand. So now we pass. George is on 5 play points. He plays the Maisho Dodo, so he's going to use an Evo point, which means he has 2 play points left. He's going to feed it a carrot. We eventually catch it later that there's no carrot in there. I think George is holding a baby at this point, but but he gets the Sun Guardian, gives Maisho Dodo ward, and then plays the Snow White and passes. So he's out of play points, just making a board so that way he can swing face, hoping that they live. Jean would be really great here, but I'm not that nice right now. So it looks like I think we end up playing Radiance Angel. Yep. So we're going to draw a card. We're going to use another play point to evolve the Radiance Angel, which heals us by 2. And then we have 1 play point left for our Bellringer. So I think, yeah, we're just going to ward up. Big butt, so what? Create a wall. But, George is feeling really good that his followers stayed up, which this also tells him a lot that I don't have Themis, I don't have Jean. Because it's not likely that if I had a choice to leave him up or not, that I would just choose not to. Or maybe not. Maybe maybe I'd want him to commit more, and then after that, then I Themis, So yeah, at that point we realized the Maisho Dodos need carrots. So he plays another Maisho Dodo, brings out the Bejeweled Shrine instead. Has 3 play points left after that, and 1 Evo point. So at this point, I think he does I feel like he does like a really good play here. I forgot what it is, but we'll see because he's got to clear 2 wards, and I think he ends up doing it pretty well. So the Maisho and the Snow White are still the Maisho that's a 4/4 with the actual counters on it. Those can attack. So he swings a Snow White into the Bellringer. He crashes the new Maisho Dodo into Radiance Angel, leaving it at 1. Plays the Amethyst Lion, that's right. Plays the Amethyst Lion to buff the existing Maisho Dodo on the board to 5. Then, since it was given ward last turn, he uses Bejeweled Shrine, making it a 6/5 and hitting us down to 11. Using all of his play points very well. Keep in mind that Snow White still has a Fable counter on it, so when if it gets taken care of, it'll just move back to the EX. So this, I think at this point I end up playing really poorly. Yeah, I make a non-characteristic, or how would you say that? I don't know. I don't usually make these kinds of plays, but I pass with 6 left. I think I totally forgot that Sun Guardian could easily just pay 2 to make Snow White a 4/4, but I was thinking I don't need to Blackened Scripture right now or Acolyte right now. I can wait for him to use a play point on Bejeweled Shrine and then do it, you know. And I was like, you know, if he makes his Snow White 3/3, who cares? I can still banish it. I'm pretty sure I just completely disregarded Guardian Sun, and that's gonna hurt a lot. So he does Guardian Sun, the Snow White, and it's right here where I'm like, oh man, yeah, I just really punted that one. I've just taken life that I didn't have to for no reason. But he uses Bejeweled Shrine as well to make the Snow White a 5/5. We use Acolyte on the attack of Maestro Dodo to banish it because it was at 6, but then we still take 5, so it doesn't feel good at all. Then George plays Ikuno Dictus, an Uma card. This card is great in his deck because it adds any amulet and any Uma. So he plays Mejiro McQueen, he plays Maestro Dodo, he plays Mejiro Ryan, and obviously multiple copies of Ikuno. So that card is really good in this deck. I like it a lot. We end up going to 8 play points, feeling really bad about last turn. It's like we just took 5 for no reason. So don't be like me, you know, live and learn. But we play Prison Priestess, we evolve it, so we're down to 5 play points left. We're going to add the Sun Guardian as well, or Guardian Sun, sorry. So we crash it into the Snow White, and then now we Blacken Scripture, so it feels bad. Yeah, don't be too hard on me in the comments there. We're going to draw 2 cards, and now we're at 1 play point. And we play a Bell Ringer and pass. And at this point, we kind of just hope that, you know, that we live here. But, you know, I think at this point, I was so focused on how badly I played last turn, I didn't even realize that he already had game with just knowledge that I already had last turn, because you can see that he's going to think about the play for a little bit. He's going to reorder it because he's playing the, actually I don't think he even needed to reorder it, because you'll see him, like, you know, take it back and realize, oh, I skipped a step, but he doesn't really even need to, I think. But he can play, he ends up tapping the Bejeweled Shrine to make the Ikuno a 3/5. So Ikuno just, again, has so much synergy with his deck. And then he is able to play the Mejiro McQueen, sending the Bejeweled Shrine to deal 3 damage to me, evolve it, add back the Bejeweled Shrine, and then just swing for game. So you're going to see him do that here. Buffs up Ikuno to 3/5, play Mejiro McQueen, leaving with 3 play points, sending it to put me down to 3, using 1 more play point to evolve Mejiro McQueen, attack over the Bell Ringer, and then swing for game. So that's going to be the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I will see you in the next one.